Still a 1-2 count with one down. Runners on first and second. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Austin Atwood records his second strikeout in the purple.
Third baseman, number 4, Nate Dolman.
Bancroft on the verge of starting off their 2019 summer 3-0 on the year. As Atwood comes set. On the stretch, rifles a fastball and he sits him down looking. Strike three and the ball game is over. As Atwood records 3 strikeouts in his Bancroft debut. And welcome back to the Bandits Hideout, the official podcast of the Bancroft Bandits. And this is finally an episode where I've been looking forward to for a long time. We're talking with a pitcher out of Wayne State, and you know him as Wild Thing, returning from last year, Austin Atwood. Austin, thank you very much for talking to me today, man, and welcome to the Hideout.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And you continue to work hard as I got you just fresh off a workout, man. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. A lot of things I got to adjust mechanically a little bit, but small steps and, getting after it.
Yeah, well, no doubt a lot of people know you for your work ethic on and off the field, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. I think the big thing to address first and foremost, this is the first time we're doing an episode of the Hideout after the kind of the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak really turned into a pandemic, and not just that, but cut a lot of ball players' baseball season short, and unfortunately a lot of them, like yourself, are seniors. So we're feeling a lot of deep sorrow nationwide, worldwide, for the sport of baseball, because we all know that your senior season at Wayne State was shaping to be very special, and we know how much this meant to you. Do you just care to share some of your feelings about the decisions on just basically almost all of college baseball being cut short?
Sure. Personally, I think it was kind of abrupt. I guess it was kind of early in my hearsay. I understand delaying the season maybe by like a month or something like that, trying to figure out what's exactly going on. For my sake, I just feel like just the delay would be better. So at least we have an idea. We were in the middle of our Florida spring training trip, and basically we finished up a game, and about an hour later, everybody was like, well, the season's over. So, and unfortunately, we lost that game, so we ended on that. So, it was different, and it's like everybody I've talked to doesn't really know how to react right now. They're all kind of just like, that really just happened. So, it's a different kind of feeling, different kind of atmosphere, I guess, going on. But it won't stop me. So I'm already in there training. A lot of guys I talk to, they kind of either they're just like, I'm going to hang up the cleats. Just wasn't meant to be, or it was, or they're just going to sit around and pout for a little while. And guys like myself are going to just kind of take advantage and build up a little bit more,
Yeah, well, there's no doubt we knew what you were going to be up to after this. But again, really abrupt. I like how you put it. Almost not even fair just to cut it out short. I mean, granted, this could be a little serious. Things might get a little worse. Like my work is already talking about quarantining, but enough on that, I guess. Like Wayne State, the Warriors were 11-4 already this spring. You had a 2.57 ERA, 20 strikeouts, and just 14 innings pitched. Just kind of talk about just your short time spent at Wayne State, what that meant to you.
Oh, it was pretty good. It was a good group of guys. They accepted me open arms the moment I got there. I got their second semester, so I didn't know everybody. We played in like 3 weeks, so it was just like, hey, let me play with you guys, So I went in there. Everybody's cool with me. Went in and just proved myself, and just kept pitching the way I always pitch.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I know one community that's welcoming you back into open arms because, however, in the wake of all this, you've given the Bancroft baseball community a much needed bright spot by confirming your return to Bancroft this 2020 summer season. Granted, fingers crossed, and I would like to think that it's still going to happen. But no doubt you were a fan favorite from last year. Just tell me about the initial reception that you've received from Bancroft these past few days.
Oh man, I love it. I pull up my social media and literally there's people asking me like, hey, can I be your host family, or can I just like like let me know what's going on when you get down here. Just everybody's kind of open arms. Same thing I'm getting at Wednesday. Everybody's open arms and just looking forward to it. It's exciting. I'm gonna make sure I bring down my fishing pole. So I have to buy one. I can fish down there, and on the off days.
There we go, man. There we go. Well, I know for one that we're very excited to have you back, calling more of your games up in the booth. But without a doubt, you're one of the most dominant pitchers in the whole league last year. On last year's championship team, you had a .91 ERA, a 6-0 record with 84 strikeouts in 49 innings pitched. And you were on a very talented Bancroft team last summer. Just talk to me what it was like playing for the Bandits in your first year last year.
If I had to put it in one word, it was electric, for sure. I would show up, the atmosphere, even when I was sitting in the stands running the radar gun for the other guys pitching, the crowd was always involved. It was always just welcoming. Everybody was just there rooting for you. It didn't matter who was pitching, who was playing in the field. It was just like, we bleed purple for the Bancroft Bandits. So it's a very good atmosphere. It's electric.
Nice. All right. And originally, when you came for Bancroft last summer, you were set to be the closer after being the closing pitcher for Division I Alcorn State your junior season. Just kind of talk to me about that transition from closer to starter in just a matter of a few weeks into the season already. Was there kind of a test to your stamina in that?
It was a little different. It was kind of hot in Iowa that year too, so my stamina took a little toll. It was a different change. I went to the Diamondbacks Pro Day, and they were just like, "Hey, you should be a starting pitcher." And I asked Coach Kieran, I was like, "Hey, are you open to me trying to start?" And he goes, "Yeah, we'll give it a try one of these off games." And haven't looked back since. I just felt like I proved and earned that spot right away. It just felt nice.
Well, to me, it kind of seemed like it was another way to get you a little more exposure too, because we had a pretty solid team. We didn't exactly have the most save opportunities last summer. So your first start on the mound came June 28th against the Storm Lake Whitecaps, and you threw a gem, striking out 14 batters in 7 innings to get the W. So I think it's safe to say, if you'll touch on that game too, that you are pretty much going to firmly stay in the starting rotation after that.
Absolutely. I would hope so, at
least. Well, you definitely earned your keep. The rotation with guys like Niall, Crosby, just many, many other talented pitchers on the team. That's one thing. Just talk to me a little bit about your opinion on just the overall pitching staff last year for Bancroft, because I feel like that's what really set us apart from the other teams. Just the amount of depth we had.
Yeah, and the amount of depth we had and how consistent we were. Mm-hmm. Everybody would show up every day, even on our off days where we were practicing. Guys would show up, they would get their work in, and they would just get after it when they got on the mound. There was no horseplay going on. It was just everybody's here for a job; they're going to get the job done. And our rotation from the starters to the closers were pretty dominant the whole year. I think it made us a pretty tough team, and our bats swung it well, so it was pretty easy.
And another thing I think you deserve a lot of credit for, is your very own work ethic. It seems like you really take no days off. You're a big advocate for the advanced therapy performance 90-mile-per-hour formula, and you've had quite an amazing journey also packing on muscle mass over the course of your collegiate career. Just talk to me about all the work that you've put in off the field when no one's watching.
It's exhausting for sure. A few years, actually not even a few years ago, it would be 16 months ago, I was throwing about 78 miles an hour, 78 to 81. All of a sudden, I was just like, man, I want to throw 90 miles an hour. I want to be like one of those guys. Fast forward a little bit, I put on 52 pounds. I'm actually up to 203 pounds now. Wow. And I'm throwing the baseball a lot harder now. I've been up to 93 during the Wednesday season, and I'm just trying to keep going up from there. I'm working at this facility now called Primetime Velocity, and we've already found a few mechanical flaws that I need to readjust and some mobility issues. And if anything, that means once I fix them, I'm going to go up a little bit more, and hopefully that becomes a sitting number of 93 instead of a top number.
Wow, it really seems like you're already looking for ways to even better your game where you just really lights out last year. I can only imagine what it's going to be like this year. And another thing too, it's we had about six pitchers for Bancroft last year. I want to say get signed. We had Niall, Ryan Bird, we had Ray Diaz, Chris Crosby, Hunter Robichaud. If I'm not missing anybody else, also Nico Mayoral getting signed to pro teams at the next level. And obviously, not really just taking this whole coronavirus thing in stride and just already, hitting the training hard. Are you trying to prep also for the June draft or trying to attract some other pro ball clubs as well?
I am prepping for the June draft. So unfortunately, my pro day I had going on Sunday just got canceled because of the coronavirus.
Man.
So that just gives me a little more time to build up and throw a little bit harder. But at Primetime Velocity, we're going to be getting a bunch of pro scouts in front of me, basically, and we're just going to prep the season. We're going to do a lot of video work. There's a gentleman on Twitter called Pitching Ninja that is broadcasting to the whole world, basically, on all of these college guys, and just video bullpens and get exposure for myself and see what comes of it. Hopefully the June draft happens. If not, free agent sign or go sign with an independent league.
Yes, and it's very unfortunate again that yours, along with everybody else's spring college seasons, got cut short. So that might take an impact on just a lot of everybody just getting that exposure. But what does the rest of this spring look like for you?
The rest of the spring, I'm actually going to go into what they call as an on-racket phase. So I'm going to go in, throw a little bit of bullpen work, but mainly everything's going to be high-intensity pull-downs and working with those weighted balls and just trying to gain more velocity. If I can bump up the bottom number a little bit more, I'll be pretty happy about this quote-unquote off-season that we have going on in the spring. So.
Well, again, I think you've proven it's really no days off, and I just think that's truly remarkable that you're still trying to find ways to better your game, already competing at very competitive levels in college, and really just leading Bancroft every time you had the ball in your hands this past summer. So without a doubt, this was a very, very big surprise. And it was a much needed a source of positivity, if I could say, by announcing and confirming your return to Bancroft just this past week. Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to say to the Bancroft fans?
I would like to say thank you guys for your welcoming arms last year, and I look forward to winning another championship here in Bancroft.
So, all right. I think that's the goal for everybody here. Championship or bust, and I think our chances are getting that much higher by having Wild Thing return. And this was Austin Atwood on episode number 6 of the Bandits Hideout. Austin, thank you so much for coming on the show with me. And once again, really, really looking forward to seeing you again donning the purple, man.
Thank you very much, Mitch. I look forward to it.
And thank you for listening to episode number 6 of the Bandits Hideout, the official podcast of your defending PCBL League champion Bancroft Bandits. In the meantime, I'm going to be working very hard to get a hold of some more of the new players, as well as possibly some ones from the past year. But in the meantime, all we can do is try to stay safe in this period, as well as just hope this blows over sooner than later. But I would like to be very, if not completely, hopeful that we're going to get this season going and games in on time. But until next time, go Bandits.